My name is Amtul and I am the digital media director on the HFSO support board, as well as I serve on the executive board for Humanity First at UH. And so today I'll be conducting this webinar on how you can organize an international trip with your HFSO. So on this slide, I have 4 pictures of different trips that I've went out. On the top upper left, we have University of Texas at Austin. On the top right, we have Wayne State. Bottom right, we have University of Houston, and bottom left, we have Central Florida as well as Toledo. So if you are interested in organizing an international trip, what steps can you take? So I just have like a layout of different steps that are possible for you to engage in while you're trying to organize this trip. So I'm going to go through each of these individually. So first of all, when you decide that you want to conduct a trip, and you'll need to determine where people that you have in your HFSO are interested in going, what kind of trip you want to organize. So Humanity First itself engages in lots of different projects. And so one of the first things that you might want to consider doing is holding an interest meeting that can help gather information. So you can share past trip experiences, whether it's from your school or from other ones. You can have interest forms that people can fill out, where you can list out different countries and different projects. And you can answer any questions that people have in order to gauge their interest. And then once you have gathered all this feedback, you can work with your executive board and HF to plan the trip according to what the majority of the feedback tells you. So what kind of trips does Humanity First offer? Well, we have the Gift of Health trips, the Gift of Sight trip, Knowledge for Life, as well as water well installations. And I know they have multiple other projects that you can participate in, and that's just depending on the time frame and where you want to go and the availability of that specific project at whichever time you would like to go to. So once you've gathered all this information about the interests of people who would like to go and a rough estimate of how many people are really interested and are willing to go, it's time to contact HF. So when you contact HF, you want to let them know about what kind of destination you want to go to, what project you want to be involved in, how many people there are in this project, or how many people are willing to go onto this, and what dates work for you, because every university and every location has different timings, whether you want to do a summer break trip, a spring break trip, a winter break trip. So these are all important things to consider. So third thing that you want to consider is how you can involve your school. So one important step is, since you are an HFSO chapter at your specific school, you really want to get your school involved, especially because you will be traveling internationally. So one thing you can do is get in contact with your Learning Abroad program or office. And it's incredibly important that since you are going on this trip, that you follow the rules of these that are laid out by Humanity First, as well as your university, because each university has a specific set of rules laid out for all their Learning Abroad programs. So as long as you follow all the guidelines, you maintain that credibility, as well as follow all their specific requirements, then you will have a more successful and smooth trip. So
Hi, Amtul. Sorry
if you
to
partner
interrupt.
with your school and create a Learning Abroad opportunity, it's also going to boost the participation of other people and their interests.
Hi, Amtul. Sorry to interrupt. Can you hear me?
So once you've picked your destination, you have your dates, and you've contacted your school as well as Humanity First, you have a trip finally that you can go on. So once you have this trip gone, you're going to have to contact everyone back, whether you send out an email or set up another interest meeting.
Hi, Amtul. Sorry to interrupt. Can you hear me?
for sure confident that they will be going on this trip. So once you've confirmed this trip, it's possible that you can also reach out to people who weren't familiar with the trip or didn't know much about it. So you can even try to gauge interest of other people outside of your HSSO, maybe just the general campus population through flyers, social media, emails, or just by word of mouth.
Hi, Amtul, can you hear me? There are some people in the
And once you've spent time reaching out to people and informing them of this opportunity, you need to confirm how many are going to be coming for sure. And so the ways that you can accomplish this is you can hold another meeting and have people sign up in person. You can send out official contract forms as well as the HF informational packet, which if you see in the upper right-hand corner, that's how it looks like. It's like a volunteer registration packet filled with a bunch of information, as well as forms that you have to fill out because you are representing yourself as a volunteer and you are working with an international organization. Or you can set up a deposit system where you have each individual submit a small, like maybe it's $50 out of the entire fee so that you can hold their place. And it's also a good way to confirm that they will be attending because they participated in depositing. And then another thing you need to make sure is once you have all these people who have showed their interest and are for sure wanting to go, you want to let them know that they have their proper documentation. So passports, visas. A lot of universities, including mine, has information that you can fill out where you they can help you find like get the passports processed through their own offices. So that's, I know, a service that's offered through a lot of universities, and hopefully you can use the Learning Abroad office to figure that out and just make sure that everybody's on the same page and everybody can easily go so that there's not any problems when you get closer to your departure. So after you have confirmed everything, so one of the big things is fundraising. So attendees, they have lots of options for funding their trips, and they can usually pay the cost themselves if needed. They can use financial aid given by their school, especially if you're using it as a learning abroad trip, or you can fundraise. So setting up a GoFundMe is important. You set that up with HF itself, and you have the attendees join those pages, and then they can donate directly towards that, or they can have it shared, and then people will donate towards that. And then I know from experience, as well as hearing from other people, that fundraising goes a very, very long way. Many have gone on HF trips through the help of fundraising. I know someone who was able to raise almost all of his fees through fundraising. So it's a really good opportunity for you to fundraise and be able to find that easiness to be able to go on this trip. So once you fundraise, everything's set in stone and you guys are all ready to go. This is like the most exciting part in my opinion, but it's preparing your group. So if you have the opportunity to serve as student lead, you have a big responsibility of making sure that you are well acquainted with everyone that's going and everybody is comfortable with you. So about 2 to 3 weeks before your departure, it would be a good idea to set up a team meeting, get involved, get in contact with everyone, make sure you have all their information, and set up that meeting. And in that meeting, you can do introductions. So let everybody get familiar with each other, put names with faces, get to learn about each other through different interests, why they're going on this trip, what they are hoping to learn. You can meet with the Learning Abroad office, and you can go through their university checklist. So for example, one of the things I had to ensure that I had, because for my university, was an international insurance. And so I had to fill that out as a requirement for my university, and so that I could go on the trip, and I had that documentation. So that's like a really important thing that you need to make sure that you have everybody fill out their forms and have gotten through that. Then you can go over an overview of the itinerary. Hopefully at this point, HF will have contacted you with an overall itinerary or like information about what's going to be going on, where you're going to be going, what kind of responsibilities you'll have as a volunteer, and things that you can look forward to upon your departure and your arrival. And then you can also address concerns, questions that anybody will have. And if there's problems, you can reach out to, it's a good enough time for HF to handle anything that there may need to be handled. So communication is key. Setting up a group chat is a really, really important thing. So you can send deadlines, you can share reminders, you can answer their questions. One thing that's also going to happen before your trip is a conference call with the Humanity First team that you'll be working with. And so say, for example, you do plan to go on a trip to Guatemala to serve at Nasser Hospital and set up clinical camps. You'll be on a conference call with the organizer, the doctors that will be going there, and Humanity First team members, as well as anybody that you would be of help to you, and you have the chance to ask them any questions and be reassured. And that is a really important part of the preparation for your arrival into the country that you will be going to. And so one additional thing, which is optional, but I would recommend, is doing another meeting 1 week prior to your departure. So you can go through all the details, go through the preparation of the trip, get your group excited to go on this trip because it's a very, very fun experience. You can go through packing lists and go through people's, like, get to know if anybody has any health concerns and allergies and things like that that you'll need to keep track of. These things that you'll already have information to beforehand, and so will HF. But these things you will also need to keep track of, especially if you are student lead, so that you can keep these things in mind while you are on that trip. And so what can you expect on the trip? One thing for sure, I as student lead was worried about was handling things, and I never had to feel like I was alone. Humanity First team members were able to help me throughout every step of the way. They always communicate well with you, and as long as you keep that communication going well with Humanity First and your team members and anybody that's going on the trip, it's going to be a very smooth and really fun process. So yeah, as student lead, you'll have that important role of checking in with all the students on your trip, making sure they're doing well. And then while you're on the trip, you'll have to report back to the HF team members and let them know how everything is doing, and addressing any concerns or questions. And one thing I learned was I took a lot of feedback from the people who I went with. And if they had any feedback about what they wanted to see or what they wanted to do, I would let Humanity First team members know so that I can make sure that those interests and those wants are accommodated for. So, and then lastly, you're gonna have a lot of fun. Humanity First does a really good job of organizing trips that have both volunteer work as well as excursions built into the time you're there. So for example, I went on a trip during this past March to Guatemala, and we had 3 excursion days. We spent one day touring the city of Antigua. We had one day where we went to the lake, did a boat ride and explored over there. And then our third day was hiking up a volcano. So that was a really fun experience, and you got to experience a little bit of the culture and the language, and you got to experience the whole volunteer work in the clinic, as well as being part of an organization. You got to see how that ran. So final thoughts, it's a much more daunting process at first. I know that it's a big thing that you might do, but overall it's really simplified. I know there's like a lot more details that I wanted this to be brief. I know there's a lot more details I could have included in here, but as always, like, you if you are planning on conducting a trip, there's lots of people who have already been on this and they have lots of good experiences to share. So you can always reach out to them. You can always reach out to the support team and let them know what your concerns are. Yeah, so hopefully, I don't know if anybody has any questions you could ask that.